I've read hundreds of books, and yet books continually surprise me with what they contain or how they achieve their goal. I played far fewer computer games, so it's no wonder I once again played a game that caught me totally off guard. I went into the Forgotten City having read no reviews, seen no trailers, or hearing anything of the game. It isn't surprising that I was fairly lost even after 10 hours in the game. What does surprise me, but probably shouldn't, is how much I enjoyed the game in the end and how much I am going to miss the city. The Forgotten City is built upon the foundation of mystery. Throughout the mystery is woven a sense of dread with a foreboding tinge of eeriness. Who is the woman who fished you unconscious from the Tiber and then asked you to go find her friend who entered the ruins and has not returned? She's so ordinary, yet not quite.
I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change.
The ruins are ancient and dark. They are built in a place clearly to be hidden from the rest of the world. And the statues. There are so many of them, they won't leave you alone, even though you are alone. Upon entering the time portal, everything changes. The city is now bright and alive, although not crowded.
Salve, friend.
The statues are still there, cowering, pleading, staring, their horror frozen in gold. The streets and the people are overall quite pleasant. Walking the streets would be pleasurable if the statues didn't whisper to you, if the statues didn't turn their heads to look at you when you look away.
How'd you do?
What is their secret? What do they want? That is the mystery you are there to solve. If you remember, I didn't know this was a time loop game going in. Knowing wouldn't have made much difference anyway because I'd never played a time loop game before. My only experience with time loop was with the movie Groundhog Day. I was only a few minutes into the game when I needed the time loop. I found some money in Centius's chest and, almost by force of habit, took it. I mean, in all the games that I've played to this point, when you find an item that is takeable, you take it. Well, in the Forgotten City, when you take someone else's stuff, it is stealing. Stealing breaks the golden rule. The next thing I knew, I was hearing a booming voice, "The many shall suffer." I quickly learned that if anyone in the city sins, everyone dies. Some of the golden statues come alive and start shooting everyone with golden arrows. Yes, you guessed it, this turns them into gold. Everyone in the city lives in fear that someone is going to mess up. Well, I messed up right away.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Heard the booming voice and heard someone yell out, "You idiot!" Everything went an eerie gray and the golden arrows started flying. I didn't know what was going on at that point, but I knew enough to avoid the now mobile golden statues and their golden arrows as I ran around all panicked. It wasn't until I saw a game help marker moving about, showing the distance between it and me, that I realized I should run toward it. I dodged the arrows and eventually found myself at the Temple of Proserpina, where the time portal had been activated again. I went in, looped around, and entered the city again as if I'd never left.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius.
The game is about making discoveries. You are offered tasks that lead you to the discoveries. The tasks are based on what you find, but more importantly, by what you learn by speaking with the other trapped residents of the city. They are all from Roman times with complete backstories that are a treat for those who love stories and Roman history. They are all living their one life, living in fear of someone breaking the golden rule. I am the only one with the hope of being able to escape from the city and, as I learned later, with the ability to possibly free the others from the golden rule. The game immerses you into what a Roman city might really have been like. It takes care to get the details right and offers historical facts amid the gameplay. It waxes philosophical at times, asking you who it is that could define exactly what is right and what is wrong. It wisely leaves the answer up to you. I didn't realize how much I was coming to care for these characters until after I finished the game. I miss them now. What really takes the game over the top is that sense of eerie mystery, that whispering voice as you pass a statue.
Most of us have almost nothing. Just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since.
Was it the statue? Are you going crazy? It says things like, "Find me," or "I will try to help you," or "I can't move." The most frightening whisper was, "Behind you." That's when I met a rather crazed resident of the city who had isolated herself in the palace and was trying to free the statues by peeling the gold off of them. It wasn't going well. I found satisfaction in shooting these poor peeled statues with a special bow and encasing them again in gold, thus taking away their pain. They were grateful. However, I never got used to those moments alone with a statue when I found it looking at me when it wasn't before. It made for a masterful touch of suspense in the game world, and it makes sense in the end. The game has 4 endings. I blundered my way to ending 3 where I got out of the time loop and rescued a few of the others from the city and their golden fate. Now, understanding what was going on a little better, I was able to play again and this time proactively use the time loop to make intentional progress. I accomplished ending 4, the best ending, saving almost all from the golden rule. The ending sequence is very satisfying, even if it is almost a little too happy.
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend.
I find myself wandering the streets of the Forgotten City in my head. I look forward to the friends who I might run into and the conversations we might have. I still feel the beauty of the waterfalls, cisterns, and columns. In quiet places, the desperate faces of those encased in gold still look at me pleadingly. I know I can help them. In fact, I just may go back and help them escape again.